Your Honor, we are here today on a non-agreed CSRP as a modification.
It's only, it's not a confirmation of arrears, it's only motion to modify?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, wow. Okay. You may proceed, Mr. Feist.
Okay, at this time, the state would call Mr. Savantes. Mr. Savantes.
Yes, sir.
What is your full name?
Ryan Scott Cervantes.
Yes, Mr. Savantes, we are here today because you weren't in agreement to the guideline child support amount. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And Mr. Savantes, you have your gross monthly income was $5,635.24. Were you in agreement to that?
Yes, it was that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I didn't hear that. Could you repeat that, Mr. Feist?
Yes, his gross monthly income is $5,635.24.
Okay.
Okay. And Mr. Cervantes, do you have any other biological children?
Yes.
And they're under 18?
Yes.
And do you pay child support for them?
It's currently pending with the two children, and on that gross that I was making, it was that. I'm not making that anymore. I'm not sure what's going to happen now going forward.
What do you mean you're not making that now? Did you lose your job or?
No, I did not lose my job, but my daughter is going through some medical conditions that I'm not sure how it's going to work with my job. I'm seeing like different specialists and stuff like that at the moment. So so far it has been like a lot of days have been missing.
Okay, you said you had two additional dependents, is that correct?
Yes.
And they're living in your household?
No.
Okay. And we'll get back to all the rest of it, but using that income, the child support was set at $719, and that would be effective March 1st of 2025. And you were not in agreement to that, is that correct?
Correct.
And could you explain to the court why you're not in agreement to that?
Can I explain to the court? Is that, or have
Yes.
I explained to the court?
You need to explain to the court why. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, yes, because I was working overtime, but now I'm not working, or I won't be working overtime because I'm trying to figure out what they're going to diagnose my daughter with. I'm currently right now in Corpus at the Driscolls. So they have a lot of like genetic testings and stuff that she has to go through and see what's chronic, because she's going through a lot of like symptoms. So they say that it could be like a chronic illness like EhlersDanlos syndrome or Marfan syndrome. So it's been ongoing since last year. It took like 8 months just to get into these appointments since they're so backed up. So they're finally starting to get us in, and now she's having to go through like this week. Like today I'm in Corpus, and tomorrow I might have to take her to San Antonio for physical therapy. So they scheduled her for 2 sessions a week for the next 8 months of physical therapy. And I'm not gonna I wanted to help her. I'm not gonna put all the burden on her mother to be taking her and missing work. So I agreed that we'll go one on, one off to help her out as well.
What do you mean by one on, one off?
Like I'll take her one day and she'll take her one time. Like
okay, to the appointments. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. And where do you live now?
I live in Courtroom Springs.
Okay. And so you're stating that your daughter has a special needs. Is that what you're saying? Or may have special needs?
She may have a chronic illness, yes. They still haven't ruled it out, but they're all leaning towards it. And I had sent referrals to the court, to the attorney. Then I think it was the person I spoke to before. I had sent her all the referrals and all the
Okay, so you
information
sent
that
them, you sent them to the court, it says, right?
Yes, I sent all the referrals and all that medical information to them and letting them know that they had recommended us to the children's hospitals and specialists. I'm not opposed to paying, but I was just seeing if y'all could consider a 40-hour work week or something that's fair in that amount, because I'm not sure what's going to happen going forward.
Okay, did you? Give me 1 second. You supplied us with a current pay stub, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And it was from the pay period April 21st of 2025 to April 27th, which the payday was the 2nd of May, right?
Yeah, that's my most recent pay stub, correct.
Okay. So your year to date is $21,457.29. Is that correct?
Yes,
Which calculated to be the 5,635.24.
correct. That's because I was working overtime, so I don't know what's going to happen from here on moving forward.
Okay. But you're still working overtime as of this time, though, right?
This past week, no, and this pay stub for this week, I haven't gotten it yet, but I didn't even think I made 40 hours
Okay.
for the pay period of would be the ninth.
Okay. So
May 9th.
since January, you worked 42 hours and 42.25 hours overtime, correct? According to your pay stub.
I'm sorry, could you say that? Could you say that again?
Oh, I'm sorry. Overtime hourly rate, 2.25 hours. You worked for that week?
For that
Overtime?
week, yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Correct.
What week, Mr. Feist?
From 4/21 to 4/27, you know.
Which was April 21st to
Correct.
27th. How many hours overtime?
2.25.
Okay.
And it looks like that Mrs. Trujillo supplies the health insurance. Is that what you understand?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And she's asking for a reimbursement of $145.16. Were you in agreement to that?
Yes.
With a dental payment of $23.18. Were you in agreement to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's just the child support that you are not in agreement to.
Yes, sir. I was
Like-
just asking you. Consider it.
Okay, and I have no further questions for Mr. Savantes.
All right. I don't have enough information. Mr. Cervantes, I have a couple of questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you employed?
J&J Excavating and Materials.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
I've been there for 3 years.
All right. And so when you first got hired, are you making excluding the overtime issue you have? But when you first got hired 3 years ago, are you more or less, before this overtime issue came up, were you more or less making the same?
No, I'm making more now.
Okay. Now, so I think what you're telling the court is you don't agree with the child support because of this situation you're in with your child, so it's affecting your overtime?
Correct.
All right.
And
Can you remember when you started having the issue with the medical issues with your daughter? Was it in 2024 or 2025?
it started in 2024.
Do you remember the month?
Let me look back on the referrals. I would say it was in like the mid of the month.
Okay,
So like, so the first one was in 2023, and that's whenever we started seeing symptoms of like mucus cells and stuff like that. And then
Okay.
from then we just started getting more referrals, and then we joined the waiting list of last year, and like mid of last year, and we finally got into the we got actually appointment on the 4th of this
Okay.
March
so
4th.
so if I'm understanding you correctly, the overtime issue, in other words, you can't put in that much overtime because you have to be taking your daughter, you're taking turns with your wife. That did not exist in 2024, correct?
No, that didn't exist in 2024.
Okay. Do you remember in January if you had any appointments?
I believe I
January of
did in
2025.
in 2025. We did have I believe so.
Okay. Was it more than one appointment that you had in January for your daughter?
I know she was seeing the cardiologist already on that point.
Okay.
And then I went to San Antonio maybe like a couple times.
Okay. That was in
She
January.
had in January, and then we had seen we took her to a podiatrist as well for her feet.
All right.
I'm not exact on the date or how many times we took her.
All right. And in February, did you also have appointments in February?
Yes, I took her to different. I think we were at the rheumatologist at that time.
Okay.
We're
You don't
taking
remember
to-
how many appointments you had in February?
It could have been like 3. I would say 3 or 4.
Okay. Now, I did see that you sent in a referral and your recent paycheck stub, or it says recent pay stub, and it's the paycheck stub for, like Mr. Feist indicated, April 21st through the 27th. I don't see your paycheck stubs for January. I don't see your paycheck stubs for February, March, and the first part of April, Mr. Cervantes. And so I can't see, this one says, the one in April says, yeah, you had 2 hours overtime. Do you remember how many appointments you had in April for your daughter that you had to take her? I'm talking about the ones you had to take her.
I would say like a couple. I would say maybe 1 or 2 that April. But as far as those appointments and times that I would have to take off, it would depend on how my daughter's feeling, because the symptoms that she has flare-ups. So there's some times when she's doing great, and then there's some times where she's in so much pain, like she's not able to do stuff, and we have to like get her out of school, or anything time they call from the school saying like, hey, your daughter's going through her symptoms.
Okay, I guess your testimony is it's not just the doctor's appointments, it's also you're calling in sick. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yeah, it fluctuates on how she feels as well. Like it's just something that we've been going through and learning from. There's days that I have to call into work, and my job's it's a Christian job, so they're understanding, so they have leniency on those.
All right. Do you have,
issues.
and did these 2 problems, the appointments and calling in sick, did they exist in 2024 at all?
Yes, like towards the end of 2024.
All right. Then Mr. Cervantes, I think I'm gonna need your paycheck stubs. I'm talking about probably the last quarter, which would be October, November, and December of 2024. So I'd need those 3 paychecks, and then January through the current, Mr. Cervantes.
1 second, I'm getting them right now. Do you want me to get them to you right now, or
will you be able to send them by email? Because we can reset it so you can do it.
Yes, I can. What I just needed to remember what dates you needed.
Well,
October,
you need all
November.
your paycheck. You get paid every 2 weeks?
I get paid every week, ma'am.
Okay, then I need all the paychecks for October, all the paychecks for November, all the paychecks for December. So right there, that's about 12, right? 4 in each month, let's just assume.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
then January, February, March, and April. You just gave us the last couple of weeks for April. So that's a lot of emails. I don't know if they're gonna go through all at once, Mr. Cervantes.
I could get that done.
Right now, or do you need me to give you another date?
Like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, is that fine?
Yeah, let's see if they come in 5 minutes. Ms. Trujillo, if you can click on the little red microphone. Ms. Trujillo, you're obviously objecting the child support amount that the Attorney General got, but it's including his overtime, was 719, which includes overtime. So what he's saying is he's putting in less overtime because of the situation with his daughter. So you're objecting to anything less than 719, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll allow me, I will need to see his paycheck stubs for at least 6 months to see if it shows a reduction in the work hours. Okay. He's gonna try to do it right now. If they don't come in 10 minutes, then we'll just do it on another occasion. We've got June 3rd available, okay?
Okay.
We can do temporary orders, but Mr. Feist, I don't know if you have the amount minus the overtime. Because you all just took the year to date.
Right, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, it's only gonna be, Ms. Trujillo, it's only gonna be, if we come back in June, it's really only gonna be like 3.5 weeks. So there's no sense getting temporary orders and
Yeah.
a lot of the times we say, let's just do an order right now, but they have to prepare the order, and if we're coming back like in 3 weeks.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. I'm gonna take another case in the meantime, Mr. Feist. I still don't see on my screen. So I need to pull case number 11 back.
And what would be the email that I would send it to?
Okay, you can send it to cs.gov.
Judge Mendez, is it okay if I step away for 5 minutes?
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Trujillo.
Thank you.
Okay, I sent some. I'm trying to 10-11. Okay, after 10-11.
All right, let me look for them, Mr. Cervantes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got, when I open it, I got only 2 paychecks so far. How many did you send?
Okay. I sent the 2, but I don't know, for some reason, I have more, but it just skipped. I don't know why it skipped from that one to August. I need to.
I think
the
you probably
11th.
just have to look, I send them separately, I guess. I do have 2,
Okay, then.
Mr. Cervantes. I do have 2.
For August, okay. And then
No, hold on.
okay.
I have the one that you have
October,
provided.
I'm sober.
Huh?
For October, right, of 2024.
Hold on, let me enlarge. Yes, October the 6th, pay period, September 30th to October 6th. That's one of them. The other one you sent me, and then we have the one in April that you sent the Office of the Attorney General. And that one is, and then the other one I got was for September the 23rd to September 29th. Yes.
Okay. And then I'll just send them. I'm gonna start sending them just singly, so that maybe that's what it was that it didn't work.
All right, then what we'll do, since you've sent to Mr. Cervantes, then we'll set it for June the 3rd, so you can send all of October, all of November, all of December, January through May, okay?
Okay, then. So we'll just do it in. Okay.
Yeah, let me just wait for Ms. Trujillo because she stepped away from her phone.
Okay. So we'll do another hearing.
Yes, so you're gonna provide October, November, and December of 2024, each and every paycheck for every week. And then for
Uh-huh.
the year 2025, you're going to submit January through all of May for 2025. So that's 4 months. No, 5 months.
Okay. Right.
I'll just wait for Ms. Trujillo because she stepped away.
Okay. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I was just wondering, is there just any way I could just go ahead and pay it? I have so much stuff going on right now. I mean, I don't want to have to proceed it longer.
Well, they've
I just-
calculated and they used your year to date. And
Uh-huh.
so based on the check that you provided them, and they calculated it at 719.
Right.
So, yes, if you want to agree to that, but we're willing, the court is willing to give you the opportunity to provide the evidence. I'm just saying that I need the paycheck stubs because
No,
the one you provided was only one paycheck.
right. The most recent one, yes, ma'am.
Right. So it doesn't indicate the overtime separately for each given month
And
that
then-
you set. Go ahead, Mr. Cervantes.
How much is the court fees, or how much would I be charged for the court fees as well?
That's not our department. Our department
Oh, okay.
that's another department. The only thing we do is the obligors taxed with the fees.
Would y'all be able to waive the fees?
Mr. Feist,
Or
is
that's not-
there an arrears owed, or he doesn't know past due child support?
No, Your Honor, this is astounding.
Okay, then the court will waive court costs, Mr. Cervantes.
Okay, then I'll just go ahead and agree with the court on what I have to pay.
Okay,
And
it's
then
not with
I
the court. The Office of the Attorney General is
yes.
recommending, but let me just wait for Ms. Trujillo. She stepped
Okay.
away. She'll be back shortly. She asked me permission to step away and I didn't think anything of it because we were doing the emails.
Okay, and then like later on down the road, like if anything worse gets to worse, I could always modify it, correct?
No, this may preclude you from modifying it in the future, but I can't give you too much information because then I would be giving you legal advice.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But Mr. Cervantes, you can always request through the child support to do a review of your for modification. It's not saying you'll get one, but
I could apply
if
for
it qualifies for a modification, then we would take it from there. But you can request a review of your.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The Office of the Attorney General filed it. They filed a petition for confirmation of non-agreed. In other words, they tried to get an agreed order at their office. They filed it in February. You filed an answer March. Executed notice was March. Okay, I would only be able to go back as far as April 1st, Mr. Cervantes, not February. It's from the date of service or the first appearance, and I don't see the reset. There wasn't a reset. Do you have the same information I do, Mr. Feist? You all
Yes,
filed
Your
it in
Honor.
February. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Cervantes, I wouldn't be able to go back to February, to the date of February, so it would be, yes.
Your Honor,
Mr.
he's asking to start at June 1st. We already said we were going to start at the 1st of March because that's when.
Okay, well, she's back. Ms. Trujillo,
Yeah.
can you click on the little red microphone?
Hi, yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Trujillo, Mr. Cervantes was able to send like 2 emails, so it was going to take quite a while.
Okay.
We were going to reset it to June the 3rd, but Mr. Cervantes has stated to the court that he doesn't mind paying the $719 so that he can get his final order today. He would rather take care of it today. So again, just so that I can refresh your memory. The medical was $145.16 to being reimbursed by you. You are to provide health insurance. Dental was $23.18. And then child support was going to be modified to the guideline amount based on his earnings of $719 is what it will be. Are you in agreement with those amounts?
Yes.
Okay, now, the court cost was waived. The court did that. You didn't have to state whether you agreed to that. But now the issue comes of when it will first be, when the payment of $719 is to start. And so the family code states that it gets, I can go backwards. We're in May right now, that I can go backward to the date of the first appearance, which would be today, but we would have to make it effective June 1st, or the date of service. So he was served in mid-April. So the court has decided whether it's the first payment is in May or June. What do you have an agreement or a position one way or the other as to when they either do it June 1st or I could go back, which would be May 1st? Does it
No.
matter to you?
It's fine, whatever you guys decide.
Okay.
I go with June.
Of course.
I think she said when we decide, she wasn't indicating when you decide, Mr.
Oh,
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right, the court and Mr. Vice, your position one way or the other.
If they're in agreement, June 1st is fine.
All right, and I'm looking at it. It was filed in February. Mr. Cervantes was served. I'm looking at it in April. He filed an answer. And so this was the first appearance. I'll just do June 1st, Miss Trujillo, okay?
Also, Your Honor, there is a non-disclosure to continue for Ms. Trujillo.
All right, the non-disclosure will remain in effect. Child support will begin, the child support modification will begin June 1st, Mr. Cervantes and Ms. Trujillo. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
I had one question. Is there
Yes.
any way that I could get a copy of the insurance information just in case whenever I have my daughter and I have to take her to the doctor or anything like that happens?
Yeah, I think if you can provide him with a card or a paper copy that the doctors will need anyway, Ms. Trujillo, okay?
I'll go ahead and email that. Yes.
All right, she'll send it to you, Mr. Cervantes, okay?
Thank you so much.
That will
All
be
right.
in your, that is in the order too, so.
Okay, they're gonna put it in the order. So the court finds it's in the best interest of the child to approve this order. I will sign it electronically. So you are excused. Thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, y'all have a good day. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Feist. We'll see you
Thank you.
next week.
You got
Mhm.
all that, Catherine?
Yes.
Okay.
On the dental, you had, I don't know if you said a
It's-
different
No, she
amount.
did say
20
2318. Yeah.
It's I put in my term is 2383.
Oh, 83. Okay.
Okay, the 83 is fine.
Yeah.
It's only like 50 cents or something like that,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.